Tuition Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Welcome back. Now we are going to be taking adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives are words which give more specific information about nouns. Adjectives, as a rule of grammar, precede nouns which they qualify. In other words, adjectives qualify or modify nouns or pronouns. Identifying adjectives. At a glance, adjectives can be identified by the presence of certain suffixes such as able, suffixes such as able, I-B-L-E, suffixes such as F-U-L, I-S-H, O-U-S, I-O-U-S, C-A-L-E-N, I-N-G, and Y. Examples of suffixes such as A-B-L-E. We can see it in words like remarkable, where we say that was a remarkable speech. Remarkable qualifies the noun speech. Skyscrapers are certainly destructible. Many judges today are corruptible. Where this one, the F-U-L, appears as a suffix in words such as wonderful. I have had many wonderful experiences. I have had many wonderful experiences. While where we have ISH, we have it in words such as childish. Example, his suggestion is too childish. We have, he is known to be very zealous. Where we have OUS, the rebellious soldiers have been sacked. We have logical, as in he engages in logical arguments. We also have broken, as in I have some broken glasses. I have some broken glasses. And where we have ing, we have words such as ceiling. They bought 10 ceiling fans. And here we have lucky. The addition of y turns the noun luck into an adjective, which is lucky, as in she has always been a lucky girl. She has always been a lucky girl. The order of adjectives, therefore, goes this way. Sometimes two or more adjectives describe a noun in a sentence, and students are confused as to which precedes which, that is, the order in which they should appear. Here is a guide. Order of adjectives. Where we have more than an adjective in a sentence, we should always have this at the back of our mind. It is quality, size, color, size, shape before color, and lastly the noun. when we master this acronym QSSCN, which means quality, size, shape, color, noun, we are going to find it very easy in identifying or knowing how to arrange adjectives properly in our sentences, or whenever we are asked to rearrange a set of adjectives in a particular sentence or utterance, we should always use this formula and to help or serve as a guide in getting them correctly. Let's take, for example, a tough, big, round, red ball. A tough, big, round, red ball. A tough, big, round, red ball. Tough, big, round, red are all adjectives, and they are arranged in this manner, just as we stated on the board using this formula. This tough is the quality, big here is the size, round the shape, red the color, and then the noun. Always remember that the quality of the noun comes first, followed by the size, followed by the shape, then the color, and finally the noun itself. Another example is a big red car. A big, there's no quality there, but there's the size, the color, and then the noun. Comparison of regular adjectives. Adjectives have 3 degrees of comparison, and they are the positive, the comparative, and then the superlative. The positive, the comparative, and the superlative are the 3 degrees of comparison of adjectives. These degrees of comparison are applicable to both regular and irregular adjectives. The degree of comparison of adjectives are positive, comparative, and superlative. The positive is the lowest of the 3. Then comes the comparative, which is the middle. It is higher than the positive but lower than the superlative, and the superlative has the highest degree in the comparison. We also have regular and irregular adjectives. The comparison, we say, are applicable to both regular and irregular adjectives. Regular adjectives are adjectives that derive their comparative and superlative degree by addition of ER, IER, EST, more or most, to their base forms, while irregular adjectives are those which their comparative and superlative degree are not derived from the above principle. We said regular adjectives are the adjectives that their comparative and superlative degree are derived by adding ER, IER, EST, more or most. But the irregular adjectives do not derive their comparative and superlative degrees in this regular pattern. whereas the degree of regular adjectives follow a regular pattern. Those of irregular adjectives do not. Examples of regular adjectives in their comparative and superlative degree are as follows. We have big, bigger, biggest, as in big, bigger, and biggest. We have other examples such as happy, happier, and happiest. We also have those that have the addition of more and most to their base form. Examples of such are beautiful, in the comparative degree we have more beautiful, more beautiful, and in the superlative degree we have most beautiful. Other examples include honest. We have more honest and most honest. Now we might be a little bit confused about the regular adjectives, that is, the ones that follow the regular pattern: ER, IER, EST, more and most. In order to learn more about these adjectives, we just have to study hard, read wide, learn more on these things, make use of our dictionary so that we learn new words, their comparative degree and their superlative, the way they are used, and the appropriate inflections that they take, whether they take the prefix more and most, or they take the suffixes ER, IER, EST. In the comparison of irregular adjectives, as earlier mentioned, irregular adjectives are adjectives that do not derive their comparative and superlative degree by the regular or normal principle of adding ER, IER, EST, more and most. These irregular adjectives, they actually change their root word or their base form into other words. They do not follow the regular pattern, and in order to learn these things, one has to read wide and far, read journals, read newspapers, read novels, read educational texts. All these things are going to help us in developing our grammar. Please note that the comparative degree is used for a comparison between two things, while the superlative degree is used for comparison for more than two things. The superlative degree is always preceded by the definite article the. As in, we have it in the following sentence: the most beautiful girl. Now let us take a few examples of the irregular adjectives. The word bad. is the positive or the root word, or also the base form. The comparative degree of bad is not badder, neither is it more bad. It is worse. And the superlative degree is worst. Another one is good. You do not say gooder nor more good. The comparative degree of good is better, and the superlative degree is best. Another example is little. We have less. In the comparative degree, and in the superlative degree we have least, etc., etc. We just have to go back home, read our text, and practice more. Make use of our dictionaries in order to learn more of these words, their superlative degrees, and their comparative degrees and their superlative degree, as well as how to use them appropriately in sentences. Again, comparisons are made in either of the degrees through correlative constructions, usually introduced by than, more, less, as, and prepositional phrases beginning with of. Let us take a look at sentences containing regular and irregular adjectives in both the comparative and superlative degree. Femi is taller than Ade, that is a comparative. Eme is wiser than Solomon, another comparative. Between Jide and Ola, Jide is smaller, that is another comparative degree. And we have she is the youngest in the class, that is a superlative. She is the youngest in the class. Remember, we said before you make use of the superlative, you employ the use of the definite article the. She is the youngest in the class. Aruna is the most stupid man I have ever seen. That is another superlative degree. Kutonu is more beautiful than Lagos, a comparative degree. Death is the worst punishment for man, superlative degree. Punishment is better than expulsion. Punishment is better than expulsion, comparative degree. Lagos is the most populous city in Africa, superlative degree. Let us now go to guides to formation of comparatives and superlative. Guides to formation of comparatives and superlatives. Students often find it difficult to correctly build up the comparative and superlative degree of adjectives. The following rules will certainly guide the students. Addition of ER and EST to base. Tall, short, bright. These three words are the base form. Tall, short, bright. Now the comparative degree of these words will be taller, shorter, brighter, while the superlative degree will be tallest, shortest, and brightest. If the base ends in E, replace the E with ER for the comparative and EST for the superlative. Example: able, abler, ablest, fine, finer, finest. If the base ends in Y, change it to I and then add ER for the comparative degree and EST for the superlative degree. Example: happy. We have happier, just as we listed earlier, and happiest, in the superlative degree. We have dirty, we have dirtier, and dirtiest. We have pretty, prettier, and prettiest. We change the Y into I and add ER or EST, depending on the degree, whether comparative or superlative. If the base ends in just one consonant sound, which comes after a vowel, repeat that consonant and add ER for the comparative and EST for the superlative. Example, sad becomes sadder in the comparative and saddest in the superlative. Thin becomes thinner and thinnest. Fat becomes fatter and fattest. Now let's take a look at kinds of adjectives. English adjectives are classified into epithets, which are basically descriptive adjectives, and numerals, which are numbers. Epithets are descriptive adjectives, and they show the pictorial characteristics of nouns. In other words, epithets show sizes, shapes, qualities, ages, colors, structures, and nationalities of English nouns. On the board is a diagram that shows the epithet kind of adjectives, inclusive of the sizes, the shapes, qualities, and ages. Let us take a look at them. We have sizes, shapes, qualities, and ages. And under sizes, we have short, we have huge, wide, large, long. Under shapes, we have oblong, spherical, round, robust, fat, and slim. We also have under quality, we have precious, ugly, honest, good, bright, smart, fine. And under age, we have young, old, new, outdated, remote, obsolete, ancient. The list can go on and on and on. It is endless, but just to minimize the space that we have here, these are the few examples that we can discuss. Now let us take a look at the numerals. Numerals function as numbers. We have two types of numbers. As earlier stated, numerals are adjectives that function as numbers. They are further classified into ordinals and cardinals. Ordinals and cardinals. Ordinals are numeral adjectives, which are numbers indicating positioning, such as first, second, third, sixth, etc. As a rule of grammar, an ordinal adjective must be premodified by an article before applying it as an adjective. Example is a first-hand information, a first-hand information, a second-hand car, a 10th attempt at the examination. The cardinals, these are numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. They may or may not be premodified by articles before applying them to modify another adjective or noun. Example, 2 students, the 2 students. 4 new boys, the 4 new boys. Now we are going to take a look at the formation of adjectives with adjectival suffixes. Earlier we listed some suffixes on the board. We listed the suffix able, ib, le, ful, en, and the likes of it. These suffixes are usually added to verbs and nouns to form adjectives. Example, where we have beer plus able, it gives us bearable. It gives us bearable. Where we have fall and ible, we have fallible. Where we have history plus IC, we have historical. Historic rather. The Y turns to an I, and then we add C to it and becomes historical. They are mainly joined to nouns to form adjectives. That is, the suffixes are mainly joined to nouns to form adjectives. And there a few questions are going to also pop up on your screen for you to attempt them. I advise that you try and solve these questions. See how far you have learned about adjectives and the type of adjectives that we have. However, if you have any difficulties in answering these questions, please do not hesitate to rewind the video and review it once again to update yourself.